Hello, hello, my darlings. Welcome back to Love Alchemy Tarot. My name is Valentina. I'm a relationship coach, clinical hypnotherapist, and a tarot card reader. And on this channel, I do exclusively love readings designed for those of you who are trying to create the relationship of your dreams and somehow the universe is blocking you. So today's topic for my reading is, why do you keep attracting emotionally unavailable partners? And then, of course, find out what spirit has to say about how you can avoid this. How can you change this part of your life? The reason for this is because I keep getting messages from a lot of people, both in my tarot readings and in my coaching sessions with my clients, that says that there is so much of this repeated pattern where we keep attracting the same kind of partners. We essentially relive the same relationship. So today I wanted to really give you this insight into, why does this happen for you all the time, and what is the advice from the universe. So if you are one of those people who keeps falling for the same kind of guy or the same kind of girl, who gets all excited about the relationship and then very soon after they start pulling away and you're completely pulling your hair out because you don't understand what is going on, this message is for you. So let's first take a look into the kind of energy that is currently working to support this pattern. So I'm going to use my favorite tarot deck, which is the Arcanum Tarot. I've already pre-shuffled it, but I'm going to give it 3 more shuffles just so that we're absolutely sure that I'm tapping into your energy. So let's find out what exactly is the energy surrounding this collective that is putting them in this pattern, which is not one that works very well when we're trying to create successful long-term relationships. So, so let's find out what is the energy. Oh, already we have a card that turned. Let me check this out. Oh, look at this. We have the 5 of Wands. How interesting. I'm going to get 2 more cards to understand what is this energy that keeps attracting the type of partner that comes in hot and then pulls away. We have the 2 of Swords in reverse. Interesting. And we have the Empress that almost fell off the table. So let me put the cards here in the middle, and then I'm also going to look at the bottom of the deck. At the bottom of the deck, the energy that we do not see is the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is an energy that speaks of a potential breakthrough. And I'm absolutely convinced that this is a great message from the universe, because you are here today to understand how to break this pattern. So for me, this is a signal from the universe that potentially, if you are watching this video, you are going to get some important breakthroughs and some powerful advice on how to break this pattern, how to stop yourself before you go ahead and attract and continue to build a relationship with the same kind of partner. As I go along today, I'm also going to tap into what Spirit has to say in terms of advice. What is it that we can do to avoid having these kind of patterns happening in our life all the time? So here we go. We have the 5 of Wands, the card of conflict, the card of challenges, the card of an energy that really puts us in a place where we keep having a conflict. And actually, this is the first time that I'm noticing that on these cards, there are 2 people here almost like playing a game. So they also seem to be 2 men, which is quite interesting. And they also are engaged in a game of tug of war. It's not very clear because you can see the people are really on the edges of the cards, but it feels like there is this conflict, this tug of war, this push and pull that you are attracting. And this is very interesting because this is exactly the theme of an archetype that I see very often in these kind of relationships, which is the drama magnet. What I mean by that is, when things are simple and when things are normal in a relationship, we get bored. And the main characteristics of a person who is operating out of this drama magnet attachment pattern is that when things get easy, we kind of want to stir things up because we just want to get reassurance that everything is fine, because at the core of the drama magnet archetype is a fear of abandonment. And the next card that came up is the Two of Swords in reverse. Now, the Two of Swords speaks of an internal conflict, speaks of stagnation, of feeling like I don't really know how to move forward. Should I stay? Should I go? What is really going on for me? And this is such a common fact that happens, that common pattern that appears in these kind of relationships when someone is unavailable. They almost give us a little breadcrumb every single day, and then we want to stay. We just feel so rejected by them, and then at some point they just give us something like a little smile, a little kiss, a little emoji that says come back. And this puts us in this energy of stagnation, of not knowing, should I stay, should I go? Maybe it's worth investing in this relationship, maybe I should give it another try. But fortunately, the universe is telling you that there is time for you. This is the time for you to come out of this pattern, this stagnation, this tug of war that you have been experiencing with so many partners. And let's look at what is the next card. The next card is the Empress. So, of course, this is a beautiful reminder that in a good relationship, in a healthy relationship, in order for you to keep a partner, to attract a partner that is right, that treats you right, that loves you right, that gives you exactly what you need, you must learn to get into this I don't chase, I attract, and feminine energy. So the Empress is the divine feminine energy, this energy that knows her worth. She absolutely doesn't have to chase. And the one thing about the Empress is that she does not chase. So her motto in life, in this energy, is I don't chase, I attract. So everything that she does is really designed simply to stand in her power, to know her worth, and never go and create this kind of tug of war, never feel the need for reassurance and validation. Now, of course, relationships are sometimes like that. We want to make sure that we have equal give and take. So it's really a great reminder from the universe that if you feel that your relationships are always this kind of powerful tug of war, I chase you, you chase me, I run away, then you run after me, this is a very clear sign that you are caught up with emotionally unavailable partners. So this is the block. This is the energy. It's beautiful that the universe has already told us from the very beginning that it's time for you to come out of this pattern, to have a breakthrough, to stop feeling so tangled and so caught up in this should I stay, should I go dynamic of the Two of Swords, and a reminder that you really need to be strong in your feminine energy. I don't chase, I attract. I absolutely love this message. So let's keep going. Okay. So if we're going to figure out what it is that you need to do to stop this pattern, let's see what message does Spirit have for you when it comes to what do you need to do. But before we go there, I actually want to understand what is the subconscious block. So almost like I want confirmation that this drama magnet story that I told you about, where the block is essentially fear of abandonment and rejection, if that is true for you. So Spirit, please tell me, for my viewers, we have the Five of Swords. Yes, of course. Please tell me, Spirit, what is blocking my viewers, this beautiful collective that keeps attracting people that are not very good for them? What is their block? What do they need to know? Oops. Okay, we have 4 cards, kind of all of them pretty much on the side. And the first one that came is the Six of Swords, but at the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Swords. Sorry, we have the Five of Swords. That was the first card that came down when I shuffled. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Swords. So once again, this is confirmation that you've had a hard time walking away from difficult situations. You've had a hard time coming out of this stagnation and not knowing what is right for you. But this message is a clear message from the universe that says you absolutely need to leave the past in the past. If you are currently stuck in such a relationship with someone who is emotionally unavailable and is breadcrumbing you and is giving you little tiny bits of affection and attention every now and then just to pull you back in, now we're going to find out in this reading what is it that you need to do to move past this, to move away into calmer waters, to open yourself up to the kind of person, the kind of partner, and the kind of energy that would absolutely be a brand new beginning for you, that Ace of Swords, the breakthrough that I talked about. So the other cards that came, let me organize them. They all kind of came on the side. So I'm even going to put them here on the side on the table. So the first card, when I asked what is blocking you, is of course the Five of Swords. This card also speaks of conflict, but it also speaks of self-sabotaging. So when we're in the Five of Swords energy, we know that we think that we need to fight with people. We think that we need to keep protecting ourselves. But at the same time, we really want to be sure that we keep bringing things up. And this is where the self-sabotaging part of the pattern is becoming very obvious. So the blockage is that even though deep down you know, even though you absolutely know that this relationship and this pattern is not good for you, there is a part of you inside of you, this part that fears abandonment, fears rejection, that fears that you may end up alone and you're never going to find anybody better, even though this person is absolutely not treating you right. There is this part of you who wants to stay. But at the same time, your needs are not being met. You are not happy because this person isn't emotionally available, isn't giving you what you desire. And you just keep asking them, you keep complaining maybe that they're not there for you, that they're not present, that they disappear, that they avoid conversations. And this is causing a lot of conflict, a lot of arguments, and a lot of issues in this relationship. And basically, you keep running in circles. Your needs are never satisfied. They pull away further and further. And essentially, you are going to move on, but not to someone healthier, but someone who is going to bring the same pattern, because these patterns are repeating simply because you are not learning a lesson. And you might have noticed that if you keep attracting the same kind of pattern, it is more painful every time, which is the way that the universe basically kicks our butt, saying, if you're not learning the lesson, I'm going to get you into a little bit more pain. So this stuff is going to happen again unless we figure out how to stop it. And here the next information that we have in terms of what's blocking you is that in very clear terms, you are not happy in this relationship. There is no balance. There is no partnership. I love this card because it shows two kids happily jumping, skipping hand in hand with the sun overlooking them. So the divine masculine. We had the divine feminine here, the Empress, and the sun is the energy of the divine masculine. It's all about beauty. It's all about connection. It's all about passion. So the sun has all of these characteristics, but of course, it came sort of on the side, which tells me that there are moments in this relationship where you feel very happy, where you feel that you have this deep connection, that you can literally walk together with this partner into the sunset, and then they pull away. And then they disappear, and then they don't speak to you, they don't text you for a few days, and you are absolutely at the end of your tether because you don't understand what is causing this distance, what is getting them to pull away. Most of the time, it's because they have a reaction to your energy. So, of course, relationships that work are relationships that are between healthy partners who are able to give and receive in equal measure, and who are able to listen to the partner and clarify what are the needs that are not being met and resolve those conflicts. But sometimes it doesn't actually happen because we are unhealed, because we are not able to look at those parts of ourselves who really need to feel loved, to feel appreciated, to feel safe and secure in the relationship. And then we just cause trouble. And then here we have the six, what is this? The Six of Pentacles. the Six of Pentacles, which is a card of effort, of commitment, of continuing to work on this relationship. So this came on the side, but more towards upright. So this is telling me that currently you keep thinking that you need to invest in this relationship, that maybe if you keep giving more, if you keep loving this person, if you keep showing them how you are the best thing for them, they're going to start loving you, which is exactly what happens in these kind of patterns. And it is unfortunately not going to get you what you want, because the more we give to a partner who actually wants to keep us at a distance, the more they're going to run away. So the example that I give my coaching clients is that in a relationship is like a cup of water, like a glass of water. And when it's healthy, each party pours an equal amount. That means I give you something, you give me something in return. It does not have to be the same kind of love, or is not doesn't have to be the same kind of energy. But in relationships, when one person keeps pouring, and not recognizing that the other person has stopped pouring, it means that you are overflowing. The person who keeps giving is overflowing the cup with energy, and the other person simply has no space to do their part. So you might have this pattern where you start doing things for your partner because you think, oh, they're never going to do it anyway. So someone's got to do it, right? So someone has to keep filling that cup. But if it's always you putting in the effort, staying committed, justifying all their avoidant behavior by saying, oh, they don't have time, they're too busy, let me do it for them, or maybe blah blah blah, all these maybes that come in with the pattern, they're not very good. So if you keep putting in the effort, it means that they're going to pull back further and further, and they're never going to be open to you emotionally. The next card here that we have is Death. Death is a card of course, rebirth and transformation. So what is telling, what the story here in the cards is that essentially, in order for you to stop continuing to run this pattern, this program in your mind, you need to let some parts of you die. The parts of you that need constant attention, the parts of you that need constant affection, the parts of you that fear loneliness, fear never being able to find someone as good as this partner. All of these parts of you need to die, but not to die just to put them to the side or swipe them under the carpet, but simply to heal them, because in death there is healing. By learning to appease those parts of ourselves that didn't feel loved when we were little, we can transform into the adult version of ourselves, which is the version of ourselves that is able to find balance in ourselves, to create this balance of divine feminine and masculine energy that knows that we are enough. What I love the most about the Empress card is that she knows she is enough as she is. She doesn't need anybody to validate her. She doesn't need anybody to choose her. She is enough. She has the masculine. She has the feminine. Everything is available to her. So let's find out, what is it that we can do about this? Because this is really the most important part of the reading. How can you stop this pattern? I'm going to now use a different tarot deck, Harmony Tarot deck, because again, it's one of the messages that we want to communicate when it comes to creating harmony in our love life and our patterns. And let's just see, what is it that we need to do? What is the advice from Spirit in terms of how you can break this pattern, how to heal this part of yourself that constantly needs something? I'm going to actually move these cards to the side so far. I'm pretty sure that this is still going to be visible. And I'm going to see, what is the advice? How can my viewers stop this pattern, Spirit? What do they need to know to stop this pattern? We know what is blocking them. We know that they keep putting effort and energy into this relationship because they think they're going to get more love. But how to stop this pattern? We have the Ace of Cups in reverse. How to stop this pattern? What do they need to do? One more, please. We have the 10 of Wands here, which is great sign. Okay. We have Two of Cups in reverse and Four of Wands. Interesting. And the energy at the bottom of the deck is, once again, Five of Swords. So this is confirmation that there is a lot of self-sabotaging here, which tells me that maybe you have already tried to stop this pattern. Maybe you've told yourself, okay, I'm never going to go with that kind of person. I'm never going to fall for that same story. But unfortunately, it keeps repeating itself. So yes, we need to absolutely focus on stopping this self-sabotaging pattern that keeps you in this story where you keep going back to them, you keep trying to make amends, you keep trying to put in more effort to give them more, just to make sure that they come back to you and you don't feel abandoned and rejected. So here is the advice from the universe. The first card is stop starting these kind of relationships that are not going to fill your cup. So the Ace of Cups in reverse is a new beginning, but a beginning in which your cup is not going to be filled. So recognize from the very beginning, what are the signs? What are the red flags? Pay attention to the energy of the person. How do they communicate with you? If they are too involved, which sometimes can happen, they seem to give you everything in the beginning and then very soon they stop. You need to make sure that this cup is filled by both parties. This is exactly the analogy that I was giving you earlier. You see, even in this picture here, we have energy coming into the cup from two sides. So if you do not see that there is an equal amount of energy pouring into this cup, if you are giving more than the other person, the universe is saying, stop straight away, recognize this pattern, and do not continue that relationship. Literally end it the moment you recognize that this is a red flag. The second advice is you've been through a lot. And the Ten of Wands is a card that says, yes, there has been a difficult journey. This tells me that maybe you've been through 10 times the same relationship. And if you really look at it, you haven't been in 10 relationships. You've been in the same relationship, but with 10 different people. However, the pattern was the same. If you've really tried it so many times, it is now time for you to stop this. And the way to stop this is really to immediately recognize if your cup is not being filled from the beginning. That is, if your needs in this relationship are not being met. So with the Ten of Wands here, the universe is telling you, Spirit is telling you that yes, you can end this cycle and you can start a brand new cycle by really focusing on making sure that any new person that comes into your life is filling your cup from their side, is putting enough energy, the energy that you need, the energy that you desire, not what they desire. And then we have very interesting cards here. We have the Two of Cups in reverse and we have the Four of Wands in reverse. So again, these two cards are absolutely beautiful continuations of this story. So the advice from the universe is not to assume that the moment someone pays attention to you, they're going to be the one. I've worked with so many people who told me, oh, every person who pays attention to me, I think they're going to be the one. It doesn't work like that. In dating and developing a relationship, there needs to be a time where we actually test each other, where we look at, is this person truly able to listen to me, to hear me, to see me, to understand what I desire, what I need for a relationship to be happy? Are we aligned in our vision? Do we really know that we are willing to embark on the same journey and we are committed to put in the effort? Well, with the what is this? With the Two of Cups in reverse, it is very clear to me that you have to fill your own cup and not sit around waiting for the other person to come and put their energy on top of it. See, on this card, we have actually two cards on top of each other in between the couple here. But with the card in reverse, it says you keep. I feel that and this is the normal situation in this kind of relationship where we keep running the emotionally unavailable story, is we keep believing that this time is going to be different, but we don't change anything. We don't actually go back and heal these patterns. We don't understand that even subconsciously we are attracting these kind of people because this is the energy that feels familiar to us. So with this card in reverse, Stop looking for the next partner to be the one. Stop believing that every relationship is going to get you into this Four of Wands, that every relationship is meant to be about commitment and marriage. So I feel that really here, this pattern, this collective that I'm speaking to right now is a collective that absolutely follows the emotional unavailable, the drama magnet type dynamic, where immediately the moment someone comes and shows you attention, you think, oh my God, this is the one. So I now need to attach myself heart and soul and stay committed from day one. I actually have a coaching client that I'm working with right now who refuses to keep her options open. And this just simply guarantees that she's gonna keep looking for a very long time. So in terms of stopping these patterns, I'm also gonna get some cards from the Queen of the Moon Oracle, because this is a very powerful oracle that speaks about what kind of healing you need to do. So where is this energy that needs to be focused, that needs to come out from the shadows? What shadows really need to be highlighted in this pattern? What are the inner child stories? What is missing from your life? So Spirit, tell me, what is your advice in terms of the areas that my viewers need to focus on to heal these patterns? Where do they need to focus on to heal this pattern of falling for unavailable partners? Let's see. Boundaries. Whoa, of course. All right. What else, Spirit? What do my viewers need to focus on? All right. I took 4 cards. Let's look at that. So the first one is boundaries. Yeah, 4. So look, how beautiful is this card that speaks about, that shows like you have an energetic sphere protecting you. So this absolutely taps or connects with this message of the cup in reverse. The moment you see that the cup is not being filled from the other side, put that boundary and say, okay, this is not for me. There is nothing wrong with you stopping a relationship in the beginning, the moment you feel that your needs are not met, because actually by communicating your needs to your partner, even though it creates a little bit of conflict, this is how we are teaching each other how to love each other. So in order for you to be able to create a relationship that works for you, there needs to be a discussion, there needs to be a blueprint. Here on this card, I love how there is literally blueprints that speaks of the fact that you need to co-create this relationship. That means you need to set the ground rules. You need to set boundaries from the beginning. Because the problem with these kind of relationships, when we're so desperate for union, when we're so desperate for commitment, we tend to tolerate a lot of things in the beginning, even though we know they don't work. When I do breakup coaching with people, I always tell them, what was the first moment where your stomach got a little bit tight, where you actually had that instinctive gut feel that something was not going to work? Because I guarantee you that whatever that was, the first time you felt uncomfortable with this partner, that was exactly what ended up breaking the relationship. That's because our instinct, our intuition tells us from the very, very beginning what is not going to work. So then the advice is to look at, how do we consciously co-create this relationship with this partner? We need to tell our partner, what do we need? Honestly, mind reading is not a thing. If people could mind read, first of all, it would be really scary. But second of all, it's not possible, because ultimately, even if they could read what's happening in our mind, they will put it through their personal individual filter, which means that their understanding of that need will be very different. So communication in a couple really is designed to create this individual blueprint that every relationship must have. And the next card that I saw here is realization. I love this card because, to me, the picture on the card says that, everything might seem to be in darkness right now. It's all in the subconscious. It's all in the shadow. But once we get a realization, it's almost like seeing through a bright new universe, like a different dimension. So healing these parts of yourself, letting go, this death that was there earlier of the parts of you that want to stay in the dark, or that we have tried to hide by repeating exactly the same pattern. You would need to focus on this healing, to identify literally this portal to a different dimension, a dimension in which you are healed, this transformation, this brand new version of yourself that is really going to take you to pleasure. That means that when you do this healing, when you set your boundaries straight up, when you stop investing too much and stop assuming that every person who pays attention to you is going to be your happily ever after, then you are going to get this insight, this download, if you like, from spirit that is going to help you reach a state in which you can truly experience pleasure and balance and connection with this partner. And I really wish that for you. So if this whole reading resonated, if you feel that any of these messages that I've given you about setting boundaries, about creating your own relationships, about having these deep realizations, that I encourage you to take the Love Blocks quiz that I'm actually mentioning in the description, because that quiz will absolutely reveal to you whether you are a drama magnet, whether you tend to be a perfectionist and therefore not allow yourself to make any mistakes, whether you are just an escape artist, which is kind of the other side of the drama magnet, where instead of giving to the others, you just kind of avoid and get away when things get tough. So if you're interested in any of this, I hope that the quiz is going to reveal a lot of information about you. And I have, of course, created a healing method called the Reset Method, which really speaks exactly about this. The first step on the Reset Method is recognition, which really allows you to get this brand new perspective, this brand new view into this new dimension, the transformed version of yourself that will not tolerate any inconsistent behavior, that will not tolerate any imbalance, that will really step into this Empress energy and will just attract the right kind of partner, not these kind of people who are coming there to teach you a lesson. So I encourage you to really tap into the fact that the spirit has confirmed that you are coming to an end of this cycle. This end of cycle also represents lessons learned. So these relationships have taught you a lot if you really care to pay attention to the messages that came up for you in the conflicts, in the challenges, in the stagnation that you've experienced. And with all of this, you will be able to get this breakthrough and to create the relationship of your dreams, because you are truly going to be able to find partners who are filling your cup, who are willing to have equality and union and balance, because the Two of Cups also represents balance of giving and receiving. And also to create this stable, committed, beautiful relationship that you can celebrate for the rest of your life. And as I always say, the happily ever after, that whole story that we've been sold, is something that can happen in our life, but we have to make it. We have to rewrite our own love story. So I hope that you really enjoyed this reading and that it resonated with you. Please feel free to follow if you feel that you resonated with my energy and that this reading has spoke to you in some ways. And of course, like and subscribe and share if you feel so inclined. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you in my next reading. Thank you very much and have an amazing day.